Hey guys, welcome to another video with me, Pink, and today we're gonna do 3 book covers, and these 3 book covers are book covers that you normally see in YA books. The first one is an eye. I don't know why everybody why everyone does this cover. And the second one is a girl in a dress, really fancy background, sometimes fancy background, but most of the time fancy dresses. And the last one would be this circle thing. I don't know. There's always a circle. Like in the Divergent cover and Endgame, it's like a symbol. Sometimes it's a circle with an eye. And sometimes it's a shield. You know, you get the gist of it. Okay, to start off, our canvas would be 9 inches by 14.639 inches. You can change it however you wanted it to. I don't even remember how I got this, but that's the kind of proportion you want. And yeah. Okay, so for your eye, you're gonna pick an eye from Google Images, and I'm gonna pick a strong looking eye. And for the record, I've recorded this voice recording for like 10 times because I think I had too much caffeine and I'm just blah 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 and nothing makes sense. So yeah, what I'm doing here is that I'm erasing the edges of the image so it will be easier to blend later. And now I'm getting the brush tool and coloring the eye, making it pop, making it, you know, pop because this will be the focal point of your book cover, and this will be the first thing that your readers will notice. So I'm making it blue because I'm gonna put a galaxy in her eyes, on her eyes later, because you know the thing when they say that she has the stars in her eyes, yeah, those kind of stuff. Yeah, what am I doing? You can put dots like what I'm doing right now, and then blend it with the blend mode so it would look natural. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm filling the background with a color that sort of matches her skin tone, and this is to blend everything together nicely. And the thing is, when you're creating a book cover, you have to make everything tie in together. Like they're supposed to be there, that they're incorporated really nicely, and it's not just thrown in there for the sake of you just want to throw it in there. You have to make it work together. And yes, I've already put the galaxy in her eyes, and to blend the face from the background, I'm getting a texture, and this is a good way to make everything work. And what I use here are watercolor textures. So you search Tumblr watercolor textures, and I'm erasing the part where it overlaps with her eyeballs because that looks a bit weird if it does, because it doesn't look blended well together. And yeah, what am I doing? I'm erasing it. And another thing is you can also warp the image, to warp the texture so it will fit your image. Yeah. And one of the edges looks a bit weird, so we added this part and blended it like that. And it's easy to blend because it's a texture. And what I did is I went Control U and changed the colors. For an example, I turned the reds into a bit of a purplish blue, and I changed the yellow to a bit of a magenta color. And yeah, because the reds and yellows didn't really match the feel that I was going for. And what else? I tried to change the color of the skin tone, but I didn't go for that. And I laid out the title so I know where everything goes, while I put the PSDs to tie everything to make sure that I got the color scheme right. And that was the part where my Photoshop died. Good thing that my Photoshop recovered the file, so I didn't save it. Yeah, make sure to save your file. So here I am blending everything after I put in the PSD to make sure it looks okay. And for the font, there's 2 letter L's, and I changed the font of the 1 letter L to make sure that it doesn't look like a font, because it looks weird. You know what I'm saying? When you have 2 same letters close together. I don't know, I just changed the font. And yeah, I had a problem with the title because I wanted it to blend with the cover, but I also wanted to stand out. And my solution for that is put a background around it. And for the fonts of the title and the author, I made it embossed because book covers have embossed titles and author names. So yeah, and you cannot warp your text. You have to rasterize the layer, and you cannot edit it as a text. You're gonna Photoshop is gonna treat it as an image, so be careful when you do that. And do not lower the opacity of your author's name because it needs to be seen. So I'm just putting I love pink because I can't think of a really cool author name. Yeah. And don't go overboard with fonts. It's easier to go simple with something like this, so it won't struggle for the attention, struggle for focus. And at the very top, it felt like it's missing something, so I got a quote from a Lana Del Rey song, and let's just pretend that's a quote from the novel. So this is what the finished product looks like, and you can find these on my DeviantArt gallery or my blog, which will all be linked in the description box. Okay, so for this one, with a girl in a dress, really cool background. It was hard to find a picture of a girl in a dress in high quality. All of them, I don't know why, but all of them have really terrible quality, and it's really small, so it comes out pixelated. But I got lucky with this one because it has a white background. It's easy to blend in the new background. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just blending it over, and I don't have to cut the PNG. But if you didn't get a picture with a white background, you could always cut out a PNG. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making the background, the sky, red, and making the magentas and purples with the warmer tone. So the background is supposed to represent the world your character is currently living in, the world where the novel takes place, of course. And we are trying to put these mountains behind her, but it just looks weird. Doesn't go well because she's like in a field and you suddenly have mountains. It's not really. It looks terrible, really. What else? I don't have anything else to say about this one. You just find a really cool picture of a girl in a dress, which is pretty much most covers these days, and you just edit it. Do what I'm doing. Yeah, most authors would do a photo shoot for this one. Since we can't afford that, we can't do that. We're settling for a manip, photo manipulation. So I redefined the clouds by adding a picture of a cloud. And here we are adding these trees, pine trees I think, behind her to add definition, to add something behind her. So it just doesn't look bland, like yeah. And I think something went wrong with her dress, so it looks really weird. So I did this thing. They added this thing with the side of her dress, and we are adding our PSD, which is really cool. I really like this PSD because it made the image a whole lot better. And now we are putting the title and the author's name, which is still I Love Pink. The lucky ones, the title is a Lana Del Rey song. And again, we're gonna put it on top because this one has a lot of space. I really made the upper part spacious just so we could add a title in there. And we chose fonts that looks like calligraphy or handwritten, so we could lower the opacity and make it look like it's written there. And we added like its third book from the mystery series, those kind of stuff. And yeah, we rasterized the layer and erased some parts so it would look like it's really written there. And we embossed the author's name, made it fit, adding some final touches. And then again, this will all be found in my blog and my DeviantArt gallery. Okay, so the next one is the circle thingy, and you're gonna get this shape from the custom shapes tool. And this is just to have an idea where we're gonna put the circle thing that we're gonna use. And I initially thought Ferris wheel, and it ended up looking like 4, either Virgin Collection, if you know that book. It was good, cover is gorgeous, and I guess it got a little bit too inspired by it, but you know, I think it looks cool. So yeah, we're laying out the title and the author's name just so we could get a feel on how it looks, and it's called Art Deco, which is another song from Lana Del Rey, from Lana Del Rey's new album, which is Honeymoon, and it's a thrilling sequel to Honeymoon. So next we're gonna fill it up with sparkles. No, not really sparkles, sparklers. I think that's what they're called. Yeah, and this is gonna look a bit messier afterwards, and we're gonna add some bokeh, and we're gonna fail at it. And it was a bit of a struggle to put it all together, and again, it ended up looking like For a Divergent Collection by Veronica Roth, and we are putting a sort of like fireworks over there, but you can't really tell afterwards because we're gonna put a starry night kind of thing. And here we are trying to put a bokeh, but it didn't work out. Is bokeh? Oh, bokeh. I think it's bokeh. I don't know, I already forgot about it, but we are trying to make the rim of the circle thing, the circle itself, like there's a sparkling curve. Does that make sense? I'm trying to make a curve of sparks in here, and it's not working because I ended up erasing most of it. So we need something that is a bit stronger, and we ended up with this word love, and it kind of looks cool. But decided with a swirly thing, and we added a quote from the song. I can't read it. Okay, so here we are. We are already adding the Starry Night, and it can't be seen through the Ferris wheel, and I don't want to lower the opacity of the Ferris wheel because I want it to pop. I want the colors to be like really there. And we ended up using the magic wand tool and removing some of the circles, some of the parts of the inside, and it was a rough erase, but it you can't really tell. And right over here I was struggling because I couldn't find a picture of the city that I like that is during the nighttime, and I had to struggle and make the day to night. And right now it looks a bit too weird because the colors are a bit off. It looks like, I don't know, it still looks like a daylight, so that's that. And I decided to extend the clouds over to the text, and it really looks like cotton candy, so yeah. And we try to make it darker, make it blend, make it look okay, and also make the text pop because I feel like we can't read it. I really like the font, and I tried changing it, but I don't want to change it. That PSD was too blue, and we already have too much blue, and this one made it more saturated, which isn't good. We are trying to blend the colors together, which is again a struggle. As I've said earlier, we have to make everything go well together, and we ended up with a bit of contrasted and slightly less saturated version. Here we go for a less saturated. Not really. But here we are moving the circle higher. We're nudging it a bit higher just so it would fit, and we are fixing the text because I feel like it couldn't be seen, and I did this off cam, but I used a brush and painted it black and made this opacity lower so you can read the text. I was really frustrated by this part, so I had to record it off camera. And this is the final look, and again, this will be available in my blog and in my DeviantArt gallery. And yeah, that's basically it. Be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment what do you think about it. Every video, if you want to request something, it will appear somewhere on your screen. And please do subscribe because I post every Friday, sometimes Saturdays, and sometimes in between the Fridays if I feel like it, if I have extra stuff to upload. But yeah, Thank you guys, and goodbye.